So the last thing we need to look at for our statistics in presenting numerical data are back-to-back stem and leaf plots. We've already learned about stem and leaf plots before. Back-to-back stem and leaf plots are particularly useful if we want to compare two sets of data and determine whether or not there are any differences or similarities between them. When I make a back-to-back stem and leaf plot, it's really easy to see if the shapes of the two distributions are different. And so what we'll do is we'll have one stem in the middle with a leaf on the left and a leaf on the right, which you'll see in just a moment. And then the numbers on the left, we read back to front, which I'll also explain to you in just a moment. So we've got an example here. The following data shows the ages of people taking an evening class. So I've got a painting evening class and a web design class. The questions are: display the data in a back-to-back stem and leaf plot, and then comment on the distribution. So that is what I'm going to do. And in fact, see if I can change over here. You should be able to see that I've started doing that. So what I've got here is my stem in the middle. But if I'll just quickly show you again the numbers we have. So if I look at my first group of numbers, the lowest number is in the 20s, but the highest I think is in the 70s. However, if I go to the second group of numbers, then in fact I need to go down to the teens. I've got an 18 there, I can see, and a 19. So when I am considering my stems, I need to make sure that I capture all of the data in both groups. So I prepare my stems as though I've got all of that data. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put those numbers up. I'll just pause it while I do it. You don't want to watch that. All right, so far what you can see is I've got the numbers up there from the painting class. All right, I haven't yet done the web design and I haven't ordered the numbers yet, okay? But as you can see, there's nothing here in the teens. And then I've got numbers that go all the way up to the 70s. Now I'm just going to keep my camera on while I start looking at the web design numbers so that you can see how I put the numbers up. Now my first number is 19, so I'm going to put a 9 here. So that's 1 9, which makes 19. My next number is 23, so 2 3 makes 23. My next number is 20, so 2 0, that's 20, and so on. That's how I do it. I won't show you me doing all of them. Okay, I've run into trouble, and I'll show you what's happened here. Is I started drawing my left hand stem and leaf plot too close to the edge of the board, and I've run out of space. So in fact, I've got so many numbers in the 20s that I've just jotted them down above here. That's not actually okay, right? I would need to redo this and redraw it so that I can see quite clearly the shape of this spread. But one of the things I can see even before I reorder these numbers is that quite clearly this data is more spread out and the lowest number is higher than the lowest number here, although not actually by all that much, right? My lowest number here is 20 and my lowest number here is 18. So the minimum value is not that different, but what does change is the spread of the data as I get further up. So this is one of the things that a back-to-back stem and leaf plot can show you. So I'm not going to go ahead and reorder this data now for the video, but all I would need to do is rub off these numbers and rearrange them in order, and then of course shift the whole thing to the right so I've got room for these guys up here. Okay, and that's the end of the video on back-to-back stem and leaf plot.